Hi friends, today I'm very excited to share with you these 3 instant pot meals, especially this first one because it's really good. I laid awake at night thinking up this recipe and what I can add to it and how I can make it amazing, and it did not disappoint. Now, it is not a healthy meal, but it's really good. I started out with half a package of bacon I had chopped up, and I think it was about a 12-ounce package, but let's be real, you can add as much or as little as you want. Make it your own. To that I added a chopped onion and a tablespoon of butter. I kept the bacon greases in there. As you see, I would have otherwise maybe added more butter, but because of the greases, I just kept it at a tablespoon. And then I added my still partially frozen chicken that I had in the refrigerator overnight. It didn't thaw all the way, but that's totally fine. It would be probably better if your chicken was thawed. And then sauteed that along with some seasoned salt. By some miracle, my kids were not being loud at that moment. I think they were actually playing hide and seek. And so, anyway, I decided to keep those little clips in. That's your little ASMR moment. Anyway, the macaroni that I'm using here, it was vacuum sealed that I had in my basement 4 times like this. And I love having things like that on hand. I may have done a video about it. I can't remember. Anyway, but it equals out to a little over a pound. And then I topped it with 4 cups of chicken broth. And went ahead and sealed it up. Make sure it was on the sealing, function. Sealing, the switch was on sealing. Different Instant Pots are different. I'm sure you can do this, obviously you can do it on the stove. You can do it in different ways, but I chose to do it this way because I was trying out recipes with the Instant Pot. And I developed this recipe on my own, but I did put it on 6 minutes on high pressure and then took it out almost immediately and let that their steam vent. And then once it was all done, I started adding the cheeses. And so I started out with a 1/3 cup of Parmesan and 4 cups of cheddar cheese, which I shredded myself. I had a block of cheddar that I shredded. It does melt better that way. I find for things like mac and cheese, it's good to shred your own. But if you have the pre-shredded, that would totally work too. Sometimes I have the pre-shredded on hand. It is coated with, that cellulose powder anti-caking agent, which is essentially wood pulp and not digestible by humans. So I just thought I'd add that little, disclaimer in there. So not that I used it anyway, but I'm just saying I do use it from time to time. But for things like mac and cheese, I find it just melts so much easier when I shred my own. And then to that, I added a 1/3 cup of heavy cream, a 1/3 cup of cream cheese, and a 1/3 cup of ranch dressing, and then topped it off with some pepper because mac and cheese, pepper, just goes together. Anyway, it was so good. And if you make nothing else in this video, make the chicken bacon ranch mac and cheese. It's so good. It was delicious. And I will be making it again very soon. I think I'm out of bacon. I don't always keep it on hand. So yeah, I should probably get bacon. And then when I went to Walmart yesterday, there was only 1 package of chicken left. So, and I don't know if I mentioned, I used probably about a pound of chicken, I think, in there, chopped chicken. But it was so good, and I highly recommend it. And for this next meal, I didn't know what to call it. So I am calling it beef, rice, carrots, and onions, or whatever I called it. Anyway, that's basically what it is. Super simple. I started out on the saute function on the Instant Pot with my beef, which I think that was about 2 to 2.5 pounds of beef. You can really use just as much as your family likes. I mean, we made plenty, so we had leftovers. I always like to do that. Either I'll put some in the freezer, or typically when I do freezer meals, though, I'll leave it partially uncooked just because, then it might get overcooked. But you could put it in the freezer. I didn't because we used the leftovers. And then, so it was beef, onion, some seasoned salt, and then I added, and you could really, again, make this totally your own because there's no real recipe or specific way to make it. It's just supposed to be kind of an inspiration of things you can do in the Instant Pot. Totally just throw things together because that's what this is. It's a throw together meal. I added some carrots that our neighbor gave us. Our garden did not do so well this year, and our carrots were too small to even peel. And our neighbor brought some over, and we were so thankful. We had 3 partially filled gallon Ziploc bags in the freezer, and that I had just chopped up roughly. They definitely look like look and taste like fresh garden carrots. So they're like really good. Anyway, okay, so I then added 3 cups of rice, which I did not wash. You know, I recommend washing your rice, but I just didn't on this time because it's a throw together meal. And then 6 cups of water and about 4 tablespoons or a 1/4 cup of broth base, you know, whatever you need to make your chicken broth with the 6 cups of water. And then you could see I was adjusting it. I didn't know if I should put it on for like, how many minutes I should put on. I went back and forth for a while, but I wound up with 8 minutes on high pressure. And then once it was all done, I added some cocoa aminos, which is basically soy sauce. And then I added some steak sauce because the children love steak sauce. How does it taste?
Good. I like the carrots too.
Very good. The texture is perfect, right on.
I like the meatloaf.
When I eat, what is it called?
Rice and beef and carrots and onions.
When I eat rice, beef, carrots, and onions, I like to test to see if the meat is tender.
Okay, now we gotta feed the rest of the kids. For this next meal, I made kielbasa and mashed potatoes, and that wasn't originally what I was going to do. What originally I was going to do is cook the potatoes in the Instant Pot and then fry them on the saute function to make like fried potatoes with the kielbasa and I was going to say green onions, green beans. And that would have been good. That would have been nice. But when they came out of the Instant Pot, I just thought they looked so tender and nice for mashed potatoes. Also, I had thought I was filming when I was peeling and chopping all of the potatoes. Turns out it wasn't recording. But I put it in the Instant Pot, the potatoes in the Instant Pot. They were about 1-inch cubes, I would say, with a cup of water, about a cup of water, roughly, and some seasoned salt. And I cooked that on high pressure for about 4 minutes. And as you can see, the steam I was releasing here, I mean, it went up pretty high all the way to the ceiling, and the kids were loving that. I love to watch it too. I think it's so cool. I don't know why. So when these were done, this is what they were looking like, and I got my little utensil here with the holes in it and got them into a bowl and put them over on the counter. Then I emptied the water out of this Instant Pot and the insert here. And I'm sorry, my kids are being kind of loud. Shh. Yeah, I keep telling them to be quiet, but I'm losing my mind. Anyway, I got some oil in there and started chopping up the kielbasa to get that into the Instant Pot on the saute function. And I added some green beans to that, as you'll see here in a moment. I don't feel like putting music in, so la 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 la. I can't think of what to say. Sorry. Anyway, oh, I also put seasoned salt in there. I wanted to say that I use seasoned salt every single day. I did post a video somewhere of how I make my seasoned salt, and it's mostly, well, I'd say a little over half salt and like garlic powder, lots of garlic powder, onion, pepper, paprika. Is there something else? No, I don't think so. Anyway, just the main stuff, and it's like really good, and so I use it very often. Also, so while I was doing the potatoes, I got butter and cream cheese in there to melt. I didn't have any milk, so this isn't like your traditional mashed potatoes. It's just very basic. I could have made, like, I have some powdered milk I could have made, again, with the seasoned salt. There I go. Yeah, I could have made some milk, but I decided to just go with this, and it was creamy, and it was good, and it was good. So yeah, those were the mashed potatoes. And then over at the Instant Pot, to the green bean and kielbasa mixture, I added the seasoned salt and a little bit of brown sugar. Did I already say that? I don't think so. I'm sorry. I keep trying to record this voiceover. I've done it I don't know how many times. If I try to go into another room where the kids aren't, they follow me around like little ducklings everywhere I go. And okay, this is the clip where I added, I'm sorry, this is like all over the place, where I added the seasoned salt and the brown sugar, and that was it, actually. Yeah, so I was completely done with this dinner, and forgive me, in the end here, you'll see I just keep holding it closer and closer to the camera, and then I was thinking that was weird when I was done, but I was so tired. Anyway, that is it for today's video. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time.